Hello, this is Mocha Mommy here bringing you another video, and this video is in response to the really great hair content that has been brought to you by Eddie Adheem's Red Pill for Women and Being Practical. As Black women, our hair has been awe-inspiring, and some people have called it awful. It has been politically charged and also a source of inspiration. It has been empowering and encouraging, but also it's been a source of ridicule and disgust. So as we go through this video, we're going to really talk about the politics of Black hair, the hypocrisy involved in it, and how you can take your power back. Now, as much outrage and indignation that there has been over Black women and our hair, you notice that people are pretty much silent when it comes to the travesty that is on the top of the heads of today's NBA players. Even when they had a barbershop in the bubble, they came out looking like whole fools. And there was no clapback. There was no indignation, and there was no anger, no outrage, but just they let these guys walk out the house looking a hot mess. And it wasn't just the 2020 season in the bubble. These men have been doing this for a really long time. And I don't insult a man when he's working, okay? I don't insult a man's appearance when he's working. But these guys are out here doing press and PR, looking a whole mess, looking like a travesty. So these men are on an international stage looking like who did it and ran. And they could drag you and you get all the smoke just for wearing a bonnet to the corner store or dropping your kids off at school? Really? And please don't act like this is Black women's fault, because your sons with other races of women look just as crazy on that same platform. It's almost like you can't even get these guys to go near leave-in conditioner and a decent comb. Now, I don't advocate for anyone to go out of the house looking unkempt. I don't advocate for anyone to go out of the house looking less than their best, or at least looking as if they put in some effort. But what I will say is that there are whole product lines made by Black men for Black men. And these guys don't take the opportunity to invest in it or invest in themselves enough to look decent on the stage. Now, these same men who got all this smoke for your wigs and for your weaves, as if we're the only group of women that wear them. And now with the popularity of hair transplants, toupees, beard weaves, and Adrian the barber coming over here with these lace fronts, you guys have no room to talk. No one ever called Christina Oliva a hair-hatted hooligan for her dramatic hair extensions. What they did was had her businessman husband and her entire family backed her up to create a global hair extensions empire that's seen from everywhere from Jersey Shore reality shows to international runways. And even in the 1940s, when Estee Lauder decided to launch her Youth Do, her uncle and her husband supported her efforts to create one of the largest multi-billion-dollar global beauty empires that's still standing today. Susie Weiss-Fishman also launched OPI with the support of her brother-in-law and husband. Her community supported her idea, her innovation for OPI nail polish, which is now one of the #1 global cosmetic brands. When Hollywood said that Jessica Alba was too old to be the quote-unquote hot girl, her husband, Cash Warren, decided to support her in her passion for clean beauty and created The Honest Company that sold for $1 billion, that's right, with a B, $1 billion. Kristen Cavallari, when she walked away from reality shows and they said she'd never be anything, then husband Jake Cutler saw her passion for jewelry and supported her in the launch of her brand, Uncommon James. And when the founders of Thrive Market saw how difficult it was to get healthy food to low-income single mothers, they've launched an incredible brand that not only supports healthy, affordable, organic food and produce, it delivers to low-income families and helps people who wouldn't otherwise have access to healthy food get access by getting it shipped right to their doors, so that even if they were stuck on things like mass transit or they had very little money, they still can have healthy meals for their families. Other people create solutions in chaos, while we create our own solutions and get criticized for them. You notice how the manosphere came to YouTube right on the heels of the natural hair movement, as we were educating and empowering each other to get rid of the chemicals, as we were innovating to create products that nourished our curls. They came in here with their hate. Why? Because they have no power and decided to pick on us instead. Think about it. If you're over here creating a product that then becomes a global brand because it creates solutions for people with textured hair around the world, all they can do is complain about it because they didn't come up with it first. Think of how many of your beauty influencers used the words like nappy and were proud of their dark skin when they created products. Basically, it took the wind out of a bully's sail, because now we're happy and proud of how it is we look, and that bothers them. When we talk about Black women being unprotected, our businesses are the one thing that remains unprotected. Where's the rest of our community when it comes to things like shipping and logistics? Where's the rest of our community when it comes to e-commerce platforms, venture capital, crowdfunding? Or where's the rest of our community when it comes to patent protection to make sure that our proprietary ideas aren't stolen and that cheap Chinese knockoffs don't flood the market? Why? Because they don't care. They really don't care about Black wealth when Black women are the ones generating it. They love to degrade you when they talk about how much you spend on your beauty, not realizing that what Black women spend on beauty are the times that the Black dollar is circulated most in our community. One of the YouTube influencers I think you guys should follow, she doesn't upload often, but when she does, it's very powerful. And that's Talia Wajid. She was the originator of a lot of the healthy hair care movement that we see now, taking out a lot of the artificial and harmful ingredients and having us embrace our natural curls. In 2018, she hosted something called the Power Panel, where she got the creators and innovators of all the natural hair care companies that were Black women owned together in one conference, from Miel Organics to TGIN to Jane Carter Solutions. People who she would have otherwise been competing with, she decided to collaborate with, where they could all talk about the challenges, the obstacles, and the victories that they were getting as they were starting to grow traction as business owners and as influencers. This is what Black economics should look like, but yet again, we're still so degraded for what it is we spend and how it is we invest in our beauty and the businesses that surround it. Now, granted, there are Black men who are in the hair space. When I think about brands like Design Essentials, Dudley's, Luster's. Now, these companies have been around for decades, and Black women in the natural hair movement have been very, very vocal about saying that they didn't want things like petroleum, silicone, sulfates, alcohol in their products. But yet these major companies are still doing it, despite what they've said. Now, think about it. The same ingredients that were making us these quote unquote bald-headed bitches in the past, you guys have no problem with still adding into your products. Now, we all know how the owner of Shea Moisture did us, right? We don't have to go into that, but it just goes to show you that if these companies were either to go out of business or to be taken over by a major corporation that's not Black owned, trust me, we're going to be the ones that get the blame, even though it's been clear and we've spoken up on how we want our products to be made and sourced. And it's not just hair. It's just beauty business as a whole. Think about Melissa Butler of the Lip Bar and how she had to pretty much work from 9 to 5 and then create her business from 6 to 10 to get the Lip Bar off the ground and self-fund. The same thing with Maisha Dillinger of Curls Unlimited. This single mom who was in corporate America with her education, then started a multinational company that has changed the face of beauty and hair, and now is doing a podcast and collaborating with people like Bloomberg Report, Oprah Winfrey, and Shark Tank to make sure that other Black women business owners can get empowered as well. Black women, your beauty is your business. And it's also an amazing business. We can use this to support our fellow Black businesses, our fellow sisters, and really use it to encourage each other so that we can create the self-care routines that help build us up and help celebrate our beauty. Some of the companies that I'll leave in the description box are Black and Green, which is a site that revolves around clean beauty and for Black hair care products and skincare. The official Black Wall Street, they may have burned Black Wall Street down 100 years ago, but this Black woman decided to create an e-commerce platform that can help you find Black businesses in your area. In fact, we've ended up finding several restaurants and also a tax preparer through this app. So as that app goes into continued development and moves out of beta testing, please make sure you support it. And also, I'm going to encourage you guys to check out a video by Chrissy and Curls. I'll put it in the description box, where she does Black-owned beauty supply stores that have both physical and online shops so that you can get your beauty supply needs met. Now, we have to be honest about what it is we want to invest in our beauty. It shouldn't come from a place of insecurity. It shouldn't come from a place of weakness. And it shouldn't come from a place where we feel that we have to hide under layers of makeup and pounds of synthetic hair, but really should be about embracing who it is we are as women. And if that's what you want to do with pounds of makeup and in synthetic hair, do it because that's what you want to do and because you find pleasure in that aesthetic. No one else should be able to judge you for that reason. I just want you to make the best decision for you. This is Mocha Mommy, and I'll see you in the next video.